Hi guys, welcome to the first of what I intend to be a series of videos about which weapons to use now that 2.0 has hit, what works for which operatives. I mean, I'll go into primarily what I use, but as I have most of the armory and most of the decent, in my opinion, attachments for them, I will do some weapons that I don't use very often, but that I still think may have some merit for certain playstyles. So to start with, I'm going to go through the SMGs for the Infiltrator class. I believe they are. Yeah, that's who they are. So, as you can see, first one up is the UMP. So let's have a look at the stats page for it first. Sorry. My opinion, I mean, I think the UMP is probably the most versatile of the SMGs. I say the new SMGs, it's the same named weapons, but their stats have been changed. So it's essentially new. The advantages of the UMP are that it's high damage, high range. The accuracy is good, and it's increased. It's increased by 3 points over 1.0. So the stability is admittedly low, but because of the low rate of fire, this kind of offsets some of the stability here. And actually, it's a very accurate weapon indeed and stable. So looking at the configuration that I've got here, gone for, as usual, the damage barrel, the lighter suppressor, drum mag, which is pretty much a must. Now, on my Evo build, you'll see that I go actually for the dual mag as opposed to the drum, and that's because it's got such a high fire rate that the stability hit that the drum imposes, plus the increased stability hit that you get from having a higher fire rate weapon, makes it so that I prefer just. You need the extra ammo, that's 100% sure. You need some extra now because the TTK, time to kill, has gone up significantly. You need headshots, obviously, that's fine up close, but from a distance, if you want to pepper a target, it's going to take a full mag to take down some of your better armored foes, if at all. So you absolutely, like, dual is the bare minimum. But yeah, I'll go for dual in the Evo. I'll go for the drum in the UMP because, as I've said, the rate of fire means that it's not so much of an issue. Again, as mentioned, headshots are king now, and so absolutely the aim down sight grip. The spray pattern of the UMP is pretty non-linear. I mean, I think it's kind of jumps around the center pretty well anyway, so it's not like you need one of these specialists grips here. So other nice things about the UMP, well, it's got this 20-meter range. I go for the light suppressor for a start because, well, mainly because I don't need. I want the extra range. So basically, if you put on the extra barrel and then you put on a heavy suppressor, your range that CBC1 is effective to is actually less than 20 meters because I believe there's the way it's calculated, there must be some rounding error somewhere. So you want that extra 5%. You don't need the extra stability, really, in my opinion, on this. For it to even be 20, it needs to be at least this if you're going to have working against the added distance of the damage barrel. That's what you need to hit 20 meters. As you can see, we're looking at 64 accuracy with this configuration. And yeah, so 20 meters is, well, 21 or whatever, 20 and a bit. I think it works out to 20.9, I think. That's a decent distance. That's where most of your engagements are going to be. I mean, if you just go to your ghost screen and have a look at the breakdown of where most of your kills are occurring. We can have a look now if you want. I think it's on, is it here? Okay, no, it's on the dailies, right. So you go recent. So if I look at 7-day, here we go. So you can see that if you include, so at 20 meters or 20 and a bit, if you can include this segment, this one, and this one. Right, so CBC1 is the obvious choice, and the vast majority of my kills are occurring in that range. Now, the same may not be true for you. Yours may be more even. You might fight at range a lot more often, and maybe one of the others makes sense. You just have to look at it on a per weapon basis, and just keep in mind where most of those kills are happening. So anyway. So we can step quickly into the firing range, just to have a look at how this handles. This doesn't really show you very much, obviously. How it handles in real life combat, play with other players, is quite different. And obviously, these mannequins now completely unrepresentative of the health of players that you might encounter. You know, obviously you've got a range of health statistics per character, and then on top of that you've got nanogel and shields and whatnot. But if we just have a look at maybe, let's show you the range on this. So as you can see, we get, yeah, it's 2.9 anyway. I've done it before. 20.9. So yeah, unless you want to be sub 20, I'd go for the lighter suppressor on this UMP loadout. Go for the quick point aim down sights, because I aim down sight a lot. Even in close range, I do it probably almost too much. But this will aim down sights the quickest, and it's nice and open. As you can see, you can easily acquire another target. You can almost see your next target. It's not obscured. So I always go for the quick point on my weapons. I wish they put them on MGs. I wish they put them on sniper rifles. But that's just me. I mean, different things may work for you. You may prefer the extra zoom, but with the added scope and time of some of the other weapons. For me, it's just about getting down sight as quickly as possible for those engagements. So as you can see, the stability is nice. The spray pattern is very tight anyway. It doesn't it kicks sort of, up and to the right like that, but off the first few shots it's kind of skips about it here. So, and if I'm tap firing, you can see, especially with that low fire rate, it's really easy to keep them all on target. Easy. The only thing is, obviously with the low fire rate, you're at a small disadvantage when you're in very close engagements with T2 Nano versus like the Evo. That will just spit out more bullets more quickly. You're going to get more damage even if you're not hitting the head. It's just its DPS is higher. But this is the more versatile weapon. This is what you're going to want to use on like Terminal Conquest, in my opinion anyway, where you're going to have slightly more distance engagements. These weapons have taken a bit of a nerf in general, it seems. Yeah, for TDM and stuff, well, specifically TDM, maybe elimination, I'm gonna go for the Evo in general. But for anything like demo, I find that having the extra range is better. Because quite often you're camping a corner down a corridor, and you're gonna have a much better time firing this off at those distance targets and nailing the head a few times than you are with the Evo, which is just gonna, shoot its load. I mean, it's certainly possible, and in slightly shorter engagements, let's say up to about here, the Evo is going to suit you well for headshots. But as soon as you get to these sorts of ranges, the 20-meter range, that's already outside anyway the Evo's CBC1 booster range, so you're already taking a damage hit, and it's just hard. Anyway, so I'll probably upload a video with some gameplay footage, just using this in combat, just to give an idea of how it does and what sort of stuff you can do with it. I've got some, but I'll have to cap some more over the coming days, just to show it in a range of environments and scenarios. And I can't really force that. It just depends what sort of engagements come up. So I'll try and remember to dump those clips whenever I get some good footage. I'm going to do a follow-up video to this as well, just concerning the new run and gun feature that they've introduced for the infiltrator class. Obviously, you may or may not realize this, but you can shoot while sprinting, and there are some quirks to it, but it can work quite nicely. So I'll probably do that now. But that brings us to the end of the UMP breakdown. If you're not at this video via my website, you should for sure check that out. But this will be accompanying a post where I'll write all this down. Obviously a slightly less verbose version, and I'll provide, like, if there's going to be links to other videos and stuff, I'll put all of that stuff there in one place, so it's going to be a lot easier to find. And the URL is pointstar.com, just in case you didn't know, which is pwntStar.com. All right, that is all for now. I'll see you all soon.